My question to everyone on the other side has actually to do with Romans chapter 1.
Okay.
There was a lot of presentation made on that. But is Romans chapter 1 Paul's sermon or homily on homosexuality, or is it his homily on idolatry?
Romans chapter 1, of course, is part of 2.5 chapters that Paul provides demonstrating the universal sinfulness of man. So in Romans chapter 1, you have the universal sinfulness of man. Romans chapter 2, the Jews say, yeah, that's right. And then Paul says, however, this applies to you. And then in Romans chapter 3, up through verse 20, you then have Paul saying, see, we conclude that all are under sin. And so what I asserted, since I gave that information, is that Romans chapter 1, specifically verses 26 and 27, flow as part of the argument of what idolatry results in the creation itself. And hence, the issue of homosexuality is an illustration. It's not the central aspect, because Paul moves on from there, but it is an illustration of the twisting of the creator-creation distinction and relationship, and that's the illustration that he uses.
I have a follow-up question along the same lines.
Yeah, please.
At the end of Romans chapter 1, this same argument that you've said to us is about idolatry. He then prescribes that they are murderers and these other things. Do you believe that homosexuality leads to the things that Paul prescribes there in
No,
the latter part?
it's a common error to think that because Paul mentions actually a huge catalog of sins at the end, that means that everyone commits all of those sins. That's not the case at all. The point is that when a person exchanges the truth of God for the lie, there is a result. And the reason that homosexuality is mentioned in verses 26 to 27 is because of that use of the phrase natural order, the way God made us. What this means is sin touches us at the very core of our being, the very identity of our being, and twists that relationship even at that point. There's no connection to, therefore, saying that means you're going to automatically be disobedient to parents, you're automatically going to speak evil of authorities or anything like that. All those things flow from rebellion, but not every sin flows from every other sin.
It's also interesting to note that we affirm all the other things are sin. Murder, idolatry, sexual immorality. We don't say they're only sin in the context of idol worship or if done in an idol temple. We all affirm that all those are sin, and somehow people try to just pull out men with men, women with women, and say that doesn't mean what Paul said it meant. So again, this is the progression when we reject God, that it leads to this, to this, to this, and hence the fallen human race. And there are many, many different manifestations of our fallen nature.